by the government because it'll probably pay it back indirectly. The taxpayer will pay it back indirectly.
New details emerging on President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, what we're learning and how lawmakers in the state are responding. Then, caught on camera.
I can't hold on much more.
We show you the moment two men were rescued from their sinking boat. Plus,
the look of her face, to see her, just her expression, to see all the bikes come rolling in.
A cancer survivor receiving a big surprise. The biker club's coming together to give her the parade of a lifetime. And Football Friday has returned. A closer look at the best plays from around the Miami Valley.
I'm tracking a warm weekend forecast. How warm we'll get, that's coming up.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
New details being released tonight about the Biden administration's plan to forgive up to $20,000 for some borrowers. Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan O'Rourke. Adam has the night off. The White House says this could cost around $24 billion a year. Mamie Baugh spoke with experts and Ohio lawmakers about the plan. She's here in studio with me tonight to tell us what they all had to say. Mamie.
One state senator tells me taxpayers will be footing the bill, and that's unfair to those who paid their debt. Experts say the money has to come from somewhere.
Those who have student loans, will be celebrating, but unfortunately, systematically, it's a pretty bad thing.
Tonight, reaction continues following President Joe Biden's announcement to cancel up to $20,000 in student loans for anyone below an income level. Senator Naraj Antani says this isn't right.
The taxpayers, shouldn't be paying off people's loans. The person who took the loan should be paying off their loan.
The White House is now revealing the estimated price tag, $24 billion a year. Dr. Mark Clausen with Cedarville University says someone will need to pay.
To get that money requires some, shall we say, either borrowing or something like that by the government because it'll probably pay it back indirectly. The taxpayer will pay it back indirectly.
Many Democrats are backing President Joe Biden's student loan relief plan. U.S. Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown on Twitter saying the president is providing relief and helping those Americans start families, buy homes, and open businesses. Other Democrats also feel the same.
Student loan relief, 40 plus million people have had a weight lifted off their shoulders.
Experts say the debt forgiveness plan isn't set in stone. It's likely to face lawsuits, and it's unclear if it'll hold up in court. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Mamie. Now to the government search of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. A judge ordered a redacted affidavit to be made public. That search warrant is now revealing which documents were retrieved from his estate. Among the 184 unique documents were 67 confidential documents. 92 were marked secret. 25 were marked top secret. The markings on those documents were consistent with highly classified documents that contain national defense information. We're told some of the documents also contained the former president's handwritten notes. Much of the affidavit, though, is redacted. A judge agreed to the Justice Department's redactions, citing the integrity of the federal criminal investigation. Now, the affidavit also reveals the timeline to retrieve the sensitive documents that were removed from the White House. Months after Trump left office in May of 2021, the National Archives requested missing records. Requests continued through December of last year when the archives were informed of 12 boxes ready for retrieval from Mar-a-Lago. Then this past January, the archives received 15 boxes of records. The archives informed the Justice Department the following month that the boxes contained, quote, a lot of classified records that were improperly identified. Live pictures tonight over downtown Dayton from our Kettering Health Skycam as the weekend is now underway. Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters is tracking what we can expect. She is live out on our exclusive Watson's Weather Patio. Natalie.
Yeah, beautiful evening across the Miami Valley. It is a little warm, and we do have a little bit of that mugginess out there, too, with temperatures hanging out in the 70s and 60s. Cooler off to the north. You can see 63 up in Salina, 63 in Wapakoneta right now, and 64 in Bell Fountain. Now, looking through the rest of the evening, temperatures continue to fall. We'll drop into the 60s and could see some fog developing across the area, too. Here's a look at satellite and radar, seeing mostly clear skies, and those mostly clear skies helping temperatures drop into the lower 60s by early tomorrow morning. I mentioned some of that patchy fog as you wake up, but we warm up pretty nicely. Back up upper 70s by lunchtime, and then it does look like lower 80s by later into the day. Coming up, I'm talking about the rest of the weekend's forecast, and when we could see temperatures close to 90 degrees.
Natalie, thanks. Caught on camera now, a father and son are back on dry land tonight after being rescued from the chilly waters of the Boston Harbor.
I can't hold on much longer.
The men were lobster fishing when they say tangled trap wire killed their engines. Their boat then began crashing into rocks. The father and son both struggled to stay above water as they clung to a blue cooler. Thankfully, officers Stephen Merrick and Garrett Boyle spotted the two shortly after finding their empty boat.
Once we saw the boat first, I think we both knew right then that, yeah, there were two people somewhere here. You could see the fear in their face. They were cold. They looked very tired and weak.
Now we're told both men are doing okay tonight. Funeral arrangements for Marion's Pizza president and CEO Roger Glass have now been announced. Visitation for the Dayton area philanthropist is going to be held on Sunday at Round Song Funeral Home in Kettering. His funeral will then be held Monday at 11 a.m. at Holy Angels Catholic Church. Glass attended Chaminade High School and the University of Dayton before joining his family-founded business, Marion's Pizza, in 1972. He died on Wednesday at age 79. New information tonight. We're now learning that the Columbus Education Association is set to meet on Sunday with Columbus City School officials to vote on a conceptual agreement to end the teacher strike there. The two groups came to an agreement just yesterday after a nearly 14-hour-long bargaining session. Teachers in the state's largest district voted to strike on Sunday. Because of this, students were forced into virtual learning for their first week of classes. Assuming both sides vote in favor of the new agreement, classes are expected to start in person now on Monday. It's been 3 months since Ohio's heartbeat bill became law in Ohio, banning abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Dayton Right to Life is protesting Kroger as the chain offers to pay for employees to seek care out of state. One local pro-choice activist says she's already supported dozens of women looking outside of Ohio for treatment.
Doctors are afraid women are being sent home to let their already dying fetuses continue to die inside of them and allow that woman to suffer and to grieve and to wait until her body induces labor.
I think there's just a lot of misinformation that the other side likes to use to scare women. OBGYNs are going to take care of women. At the end of the day, they all are, and they can do both. You can take care of the baby and the mom.
The National Medical Association says the overturning of Roe directly interferes with the ability of physicians to provide the best care possible for patients. A cancer survivor receiving a big surprise. The Miami Valley's local biker clubs coming together to give her the parade of a lifetime. And we're taking you around the Miami Valley and out onto the football field. Ahead, the big plays from tonight's matchups.
Plus, tracking the heat across the Miami Valley, too. That's coming up. Here's a live look from our Kettering Health Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
A Dayton 24/7 Now exclusive. A Springfield girl achieving a major feat today, completing chemotherapy treatment for cancer. To celebrate the milestone, a group of biker clubs came together to give her the parade of a lifetime. Clara Faith tells us why they wanted to do it and how it's inspiring the rest of the community.
Annabelle loves bikes and motorcycles, so Iron Misfit President Inkman, along with 5 other local motorcycle clubs, wish to honor her for beating cancer after undergoing chemotherapy for 2 years.
Just shows that, we care about everybody and like what we're supposed to do. And I mean, we become a biker organization to take care of people.
Annabelle received roses from the bikers during the ride-along as a sign of their appreciation for her bravery. One woman even referred to Annabelle as a hero.
When you're older, you're going to remember what you went through and how strong of a girl you are. And keep that power.
Inkman says the highlight of the ride-along parade was watching Annabelle's face light up with excitement.
Just the look of her face, to see her, just her expression, to see all the bikes come rolling in, her look of happiness, know that she beat something.
And at the end of it all, Annabelle received one more gift from the Iron Misfits Club, a pink leather vest.
To us, that's a great feeling. And to see her getting what she wanted with the motorcycles is what we wanted to do.
Reporting in Springfield, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Mad River Local Schools holding its annual Day of Giving Back. At 3 different sites, parents were able to pick up book bags filled with everything their kids need to head back to school. More than 1,000 bags were handed out. Organizers tell us the distribution is especially important this year as prices for many school essentials have climbed due to inflation.
We don't want anyone to stress over what they might need for their child for the start of the school year. So this is going to relieve some burden for a lot of families.
Experts say that the average family will spend more than $800 on school supplies.
Well, tomorrow is going to be a great day for the pool. The whole weekend, in fact, might as well soak it up while it's still feeling like summer and while the pools are still open as well. This is a look at our pool forecast. We're going to be seeing temperatures tomorrow starting us off in the 70s at 10 a.m. back in the lower 80s for the afternoon. A little bit of that humidity, but Sunday we get even warmer, climbing close to 90 degrees on Sunday. Another thing you're going to have to keep in mind is the UV index. So it's going to be high tomorrow. So middle of the summer, we usually get those very high UV index numbers. Tomorrow high, part of the reason is because we're starting to see just a little bit more of a lower sun angle as we do start to head closer into the fall season. So 7.5, still need that sunscreen, of course, for the day tomorrow. Limit your time outside. This is a look at what's going on for us in our forecast. Warm and quiet weekend. We have storms that do return to the area on Monday, so we're going to track that, plus a cool down by later into next week. So it does start to feel just a little bit more like fall by later next week. There's a bug flying around me. We got 60s out there, 67 in Dayton, 62 in Sydney, 63 up in Wapakoneta. As temperatures continue to fall overnight, some patchy fog is going to be possible. So satellite and radar showing things on the quieter side currently. High pressure, calmer winds, temperatures falling close to the dew point, some patchy fog, certainly something that we'll watch out for overnight. So our front continues to slide its way southward with that high pressure, keeping things nice and quiet. Sunshine through the day tomorrow. Now Sunday's going to be quiet as well, but it will also be warmer. We're going to start to see a warm front lift its way through. Climbing temperatures close to 90 degrees on Sunday, and then on Monday we'll track our next weather maker making its way in from the west. So this is a look at what we're tracking. Climbing temperatures close to 90 on Sunday and Monday, dropping back down into the lower 80s Tuesday, Wednesday. But later into next week, heading into the month of September, Climate Prediction Center, take a look at this, indicating a cooler than normal trend, looking pretty possible as we start off the month of September with some cooler days and some cool, crisp nights as we do start off September with that patchy fog around for tonight. 62 for our overnight low temperature. We'll be monitoring for that fog by early tomorrow morning, heading into the day tomorrow, back up into the lower 80s with that sunshine. East-northeasterly wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then here's a look at our extended forecast. Close to 90 degrees Sunday, Monday with those storms. Monday, Tuesday, so that's with our cold front. That'll bring increased chance for showers and thunderstorms by late into the day on Monday into Tuesday. And then it does turn cooler by Thursday, Friday. Highs upper 70s, lower 80s, and lows that'll be dropping back down into the 50s.
Up next, Fairmont going on the road to take on the Trotwood Rams. Coming up next, we break down what it took the Firebirds to win in our game of the week. Football Fridays next on Dayton 24/7 Now News. Oh yeah, you know when you hear that sound, it is Football Friday. Welcome in. I'm Andre Johnson, joined by Matt Digby. Matt, it's your first Football Friday in Dayton. How you feeling?
It is. It's great to be back in my home state. I'm from the Columbus area. Heard a lot about growing up about great football tradition in Dayton, and it was great to see it in person tonight.
Oh yeah, great football tradition, and of course, great action on the field. We're going to get to that right now, starting with our game of the week. Fairmont taking on Trotwood. The Rams getting hyped up before their first home game of the season. But on the first possession of this game, it would be all Fairmont. Drew Baker skipping through a massive hole, bulling his way to a 28-yard gain. Drew Baker is one of the best running backs in the state, people, and he would show that again a few plays later. Trucking through a Rams defender and punching his way into the end zone for the first score of this game. 7-0 Firebirds early on. The student section, Hawaiian theme, they love it. they're going to love this too, because Fairmont is really working that triple option. This time the quarterback keeps it flipping and twisting into the end zone. 14-0 Fairmont late in the first. The Firebirds would actually start this game off with 21 unanswered points as Drew Baker powers his way into another touchdown midway through the second. But after that Trotwood offense would finally start to wake up. On 3rd and 12, Tim Carpenter faking the screen and darting up the middle to pick up the first down. A lot of potential on this Trotwood team, especially in that junior class. Then a few plays later, Carpenter, he's going to have to ad-lib on this one, rolling right, slinging one to Quentin Johnson. Tim Carpenter would actually get hurt later in this drive, but a few minutes after that, he came back just to do this. Second verse, same as the first, going right back to Johnson for the Rams' first points of the night. Fairmont, though, taking this one at the end of the day, 38-14.
So let's go over to Centerville. The Elks hosting Dublin Kaufman. They're from the Columbus area. Centerville trying to make sure that bus ride back to Kaufman is a long bus ride, and plays like this will help that cause. And Mable Wakalongo gets the ground game going, able to weave in between defenders down the sideline to pick up a first down here. He will then finish this drive plowing through a defender to find Pater. Okay. Centerville is on the board first, 7-0. It does on a later possession. Now in the second quarter, Wakalongo picks up about another 20 yards, good for another Elk first down. And then Drake Wells, he wants the handoff at first. No, he's going to keep it. He says, I want to score this time. And he will be pushed, he will be pulled, he will be whatevered into the end zone. 13-0 Centerville at that point. And then Kaufman try to get some momentum going on offense. They do get past midfield, but a fumble on the play. And a scoop and score for Cameron Gay.
Man touchdown.
Nothing but Greene in front of him. 20-0 at that point as Centerville goes on to win big at home over Dublin Kaufman. Final score, 48-14.
So we're going to stay in that GWalk and head over to Heidkamp Stadium. Wayne all over Reynoldsburg as we start in the second half. Zachariah Williams taking the first snap of the third quarter all the way to the crib. That's a 40-yard touchdown for the first-year starter at running back. But Reynoldsburg said, you know what, we didn't take this ride to Wayne just to get embarrassed, so they got to put some points on the board. Troy Martin slinging an 80-yard touchdown sidearm over the middle to Cerise Weaver. Reynoldsburg finally putting some points on the board, but it was a very fast second half because it was a running clock for the majority of the time. And this is why, because Wayne's offense has those hitters. Tyrell Lewis finding T1 Hunter to convert on third down. Lewis already having an offer from Louisville, and he's only a sophomore in his second game. Later on, another third down, another Lewis to Hunter completion. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Wayne understands that. And they understand that R.J. Mutes is a very fast football player, so we're going to hit him on the jet sweep, get him around the edge, and he's going to score again. Wayne winning this one 53-7. And
that's why R.J. is going to Ball State, as Wayne with the nice bounce back from last week's loss to get to 1-1. Over in Miamisburg, Bellbrook leading 17-6 at the half, so the Vikings trying to come from behind early in the third quarter. Brock Vaughn looks to be sacked, but he gets the throw up. I don't know if he's left-handed normally, but that was a great improvisation to get to Drew Copsey for the first down. However, that drive stalls as Bellbrook's defense continuing to make plays. Jacob Umina with the sack here. However, Miamisburg will get the ball back on a later possession. Vaughn getting the ball down the field to Jackson McGill. Good positioning to pick up the first down. Vikings would try a field goal attempt. It's long enough, but it's off to the left. No points. They're unable to trim that deficit. And then late in the fourth, the Golden Eagles continue their success on offense. Elijah Brooks gets to the sideline, finds open green space, and he is gone 35 yards, 24-6 at that point. Bellbrook, under 2 minutes to go. The Vikings do find the end zone with a pass from Vaughn to Connor Smith, but Bellbrook picking up the win on the road. Final score 24-13. In the meantime, more scores from the GWalk. Beaver Creek with the win against Franklin, 20-13 was the final score there. Northmont beating Richmond 56-0, and Springboro with a win over Cincinnati Withrow. Final score 27-21.
Beaver Creek's first win since October 2020 as we head to the MVL. The Troy Trojans taking on the Xenia Buccaneers, kicking things off with that pick by Troy Gavin. Troy sounding the alarm early. And later on offense, they would just hand it to their big guy. It's a very simple strategy. Give the ball to Jahari Ward, get out the way, and let him run over whoever he's going to run into. Later on, second verse, same as the first, as Ward would punch that ball into the end zone. Touchdown for Troy, but Xenia would actually end up owning the day. Great game by the Buccaneers. Xenia winning their first week. Xenia winning again to this week, 50-20. The Buccaneers looking like they could really be a favorite in that Miami Valley League. And as we look at the NVL, we got more scores. The Butler Aviators taking on Fairmont, 35-21. Stebbins beating Greenville, 42-21. And Pickwood taking down West Carrollton, 58-0. We're going to be back after this break. But first, the lovely ladies of Trotwood take us to commercial.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Welcome back to the Autos Football Friday. Let's get right back into the action in Germantown. Valley View hosting Milton Union. Bulldogs would have the opening possession, and on a third down play, Nate Border, QB pitch to Michael Elam. He pitches himself to Blake Brumbaugh, who heads to the far sideline and converts that third down into a first down. Milton Union kicks a field goal to go up 3-0. Spartans first drive. Caden Henson looking for Austin Stidham, but Connor Gibson with the pick. A key turning point, one of many for the Bulldog defense, as the second play of the second quarter from the 1-yard line. Elam takes the handoff up the middle, finding Pater. 10-0 Milton Union takes the lead. Valley View looking for some momentum on offense. Well, this play would work. O-line giving Henson some time. He scrambles and throws up a deep pass, but Micah Valenti ready and waiting for the catch. A huge, much-needed spark for Valley View. They move inside the 25 on that same drive. Third down, Henson under pressure, finds an open man in Troy Heights. He does the rest, racing to the corner for 6. Valley View is on the board. It's a 10-7 ball game. But later in the second, a Spartan fumble leading to another Bulldog touchdown. Elam for the second time. Milton Union goes up 17-7. Last seconds before the half, Valley View driving inside the red zone, but Henson's pass to the corner picked off by Peyton Mayfield. Again, that Bulldog defense leading the way as they move to 2-0. They win on the road. Final score 24-14.
And now we go to the GCL. Chaminade Julienne taking on Belmont. CJ's trumpet player wearing the old school band uniform in honor of Roger Glass as CJ storms the field in Roger Glass Stadium. Roger Glass passing away recently. And the Eagles looking for their first win of the season. And if they play like this, it looks like they're going to get it. Early on, Belmont's Victor Fleming hauling in the swing pass, but he gets swarmed by that Eagles defense. They would keep the Bison on the board. Later on, CJ's Donovan Cummings taking the toss to the outside, getting around the corner, and at first it looks like he made it into the end zone, but the refs ruled him a little bit short. So a few plays later, they're going to do it right back again, run it back. At this time, neither the refs or the Belmont defense could stop Cummings from finally putting the Eagles on the board with their first score of the day. And then later in the quarter, the Eagles would put a nice ribbon on it with Jonathan Peltier with a deep pass over the middle to Aiden Lowry for their second touchdown of the day.